Hello everybody, warning, this contains violence, gore, murder, and other stuff and all. This game is intended for mature audiences, 18 plus, or at least 16 plus. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay, thankfully we got into that. Hello everybody, my name is Tazitis, and welcome to Fear Me, a Jeff the Killer dating simulator, a visual novel. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video, it really helps me out a lot. Now, as you guys know, I had such a fun time. Sorry, I'm trying to find my microphone. Here we go. I had such a fun time reading and playing around with the freak circus and everything else that I've been trying to find myself another visual novel that's really cool and everything. But every single time I wanted to go download one, for some reason they wouldn't download. Thankfully, I managed to find this one, and this one seems like it's working pretty well. However, I've never played it, and I don't know anything about it and all, so bear with me and all. I'll try my best to do the voice and try to be professional, and I'll try my best to play the game, and I will be saving spastically and loading it spastically. I'm definitely going to be putting it on easy. The mode right now is easy. Also, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and it really helps me out and all. I'm just a small-time YouTuber, and it really helps me out a lot, so thank you guys so much for clicking on this video, and thank all the rest of you. Thank you so much for all the views and all the rest of the stuff and all that you guys have been giving me. It really helps me out a lot. It makes my heart just so happy to see you guys do that. We really need to get into this. Sorry, guys. But like I said, there's warnings of violence and blood and all the kind of stuff in there, so if you're not of a certain age, please click off this video and go watch some of my Minecraft videos. They're a little bit safer, and they're a little bit more mature for you guys, a little bit more, they're a little bit more, age appropriate is what I'm trying to say, not mature, they're a little bit more age appropriate for you guys, if you can call it what I do, age appropriate, creepypasta and stuff like that, and SCP related stuff, you can call that appropriate. Anyway, let's get into it. I've never played this before. Please go support the developer, they really need the stuff, and I think it's really cool what they do online, and I think Itch.io, the games and stuff they do, it's really nice that they're able to like do stuff for the gamers and stuff, and the gamers are able to put like demos and stuff on there and be able to download it and all for free. But anyway, thank you guys, and please go support the developer. It's really nice, and let's just get into it. Now, I currently have my microphone on, so I literally can't hear anything, so I'm just going to be reading it out. So if there is any voice acting and all, I can't hear it. You guys can hear it, but I can't hear it, so just be aware of that. The room was silent, illuminated by the warm midday light filtering through the window. You look anywhere but at your therapist. You didn't yet feel comfortable enough to speak freely. Attending these sessions feels like a chore, more than for your own good. It seems like a way to keep an eye on you. You know you have no obligation to talk about him. The therapist watched you patiently, leaning calmly against the back of his armchair. You can talk about whatever you want. You scoffed, ironically, offering no reply. It's been 7 days, enough time for somebody to change, don't you think? Instinctively, you raise your hand to the left side of your face, where a patch covered your left eye. He hurt you. There's no doubt about that. The police, the hospital, everyone had their version, but I want you. Sorry, I forgot. He hurt you. There's no doubt about that. The police, the hospital, everybody has their version, but I want yours. You shrug. That's fine. Silence is an answer. You look towards the window. Your reflection silhouette was visible through the glass. Even though you couldn't see yourself clearly, your posture, your expression were noticeably different from a week ago. Day 1. The start of your shift is like your life's start button. You have a clear routine. Wake up, work, sleep, and sleep. You have no legacy, no ambitions, and no pending matters. You fulfilled your duties as a student and finished school. And you lack the motivation to pursue a dream or a goal beyond where you are now. You feel as if you don't have a starting role in this world, and because nothing special has ever happened to you, yet. In fact, one could say you let empathy guide you. Empathy that numbs your strong emotions. A roller coaster ride? Pleasant. You trip, you fall face first into the public? Not the end of the world. Positive, negative, your emotions range is very low. Your emotional range is very low. Like a perfect blank canvas. Anyway, you try to make your life as comfortable as possible. And as strange as it sounds, you work at a video store that only attracts nostalgic and cinephiles. Cinephiles. You love movies. Movies are okay. Well, compared from her attitude, I'm going to say it's a her because I'm a girl, so whatever. It's a her for me. From her attitude, I'd say she says that movies are okay, but I'm going to say you love movies because I love movies. I don't know. Should I put movies are okay? I don't know. I'm just going to go with my first answer. You love movies. The main reason you took the job is because you like it. You spend hours watching movies and you never get bored. That is true. I mean, you would get bored eventually of watching certain movies, but eventually you would find some interest in it. The place is colorful, not enough to depress you just by being there, and if you're lucky, you might run into some interesting character or two. Of course, beside the characters that already exist. Cindy. Catching up on lost time? For a moment I thought you wouldn't come. Cindy, your coworker. She's not very good at her job, which is saying a lot since being an attendant at a time lost store doesn't require much effort, but she's the owner's daughter. Ugh. You're the other full-time employee and you do well. You two don't get along great. Not terribly. You tolerate each other. Where's your badge? Instinctively you reach for your neck, and indeed your employee badge wasn't there. It's strange, but I feel like I can't say your name without your badge. Cindy shrugged and then retreated to the back of the room with a full box of movies. A box full of movies. Somehow what she said made sense. It was as if you couldn't remember your own name unless it was written right in front of you. As if names only existed if somebody else spoke them out loud. Well, you remember taking it out of your things and when you arrived, so it was most likely still in the store. Oh, this is cool. Let's see. Counter, back room. It might be in the back room. That would be more likely, we think. But let's go back room. Maybe you dropped it in the back room, but you only found Cindy looking at her phone next to the boxes she'd taken back. Cindy gave you a quick glance and then went back to ignoring you. You followed her example and focused on finding your badge. Nope, it wasn't there. Strange. Okay, let's go aisle 2. Aisle 2. You leaned down and tried to get a better look at the floor, hoping your badge was somewhere around. You moved down the small aisle, determined, past shelves stacked with horror and thriller movies, until you spotted the unmistakable piece of plastic almost at the end of the aisle. You were reaching for your badge, but a white hand got there first, slowly picking it up the plastic. You look up and find yourself facing a tall, hooded man with his face covered. He looked a little potentially criminal or someone with a bad cold. But you didn't have the energy to worry. You straightened up, standing face to face. The man seemed to ignore you, more interested in your badge in his hand. Is this yours? His voice, muffled by the fabric, was deep and slightly raspy. I guess I should do better than that. You nodded silently, looking at the man suspiciously. By the way he cocked his head. Prove it. Now you could finally visualize your name. Okay. Let's type in T-A-Z-Z-Y. The man looked at your badge in silence, and for a moment you truly thought you might have been wrong after all, and then he offered you the piece of plastic. Alright, Tazzy. I can't do a raspy voice right now. How do you do a raspy voice? I can only do the voice I was using. Sorry. I can't do a raspy voice right now. Sorry, guys. It's like, alright, Tazzy. You took the badge in your hand and giving the guy a look. Thank him or mock him. I'm definitely going to thank him because that would definitely get us killed. Thanks, mister. Don't call me that. I'm not that old. Sorry, but I have no way of knowing when I can't see your face. I guess you have a point. Besides, from the skin on your hand, I could tell you're not exactly a young fella. Yeah, I get that. The man's voice sounded irritated. A part of what you said should have been sweet with customers. A part of you said you should be more sweet with customers, but you managed to annoy him with your chatter, and you could consider it an achievement. This guy gave you bad vibes. You silently put the badge around your neck while he remained motionless in his spot. You slowly moved towards the counter. This guy stared at you as you moved, which only made your discomfort worse. You decide to ignore him, shifting your attention to one of the monitors next to you. You could, if the hooded man from before would stop wandering around the store so suspiciously. You tried your best to ignore him, but it was impossible not to notice him. Maybe he was doing it on purpose. Hey, Tazzy. At the sound of your name, you looked up at Cindy, who came around the counter to stand next to you. Did you see that guy? He's been here for a long time. You look where she was subtly pointing, and of course, she was talking about the same guy. Yeah, I saw him. You shrug. A very logical reaction, right? Maybe he's deciding what to buy. He was probably just a weirdo you'd see once and no big deal. Anyway, Cindy, as annoying as she ever was, wasn't easily flustered. He's just a weirdo. We see those every day. But this one feels different. You were starting to believe Cindy had watched many movies, but then you remembered she didn't like cinema and only worked here because it was her dad's store. Only worked in her dad's store. When I talked to him, he didn't seem dangerous. She turned to you surprised. You talked to him? Did he say anything strange? Yes, no. I mean, technically he didn't say anything strange. I mean, he just was strange, so I'm going to say no. He just gave me back my badge. Why did he have it? I mean, he grabbed it first. Look, it wasn't a big deal. Cindy looked at you in silence for a few minutes and then sighed. If he makes you uncomfortable, I can ask him to leave. Cindy shook her head, glancing at the guy. You're probably right. Okay, I'll leave it to you. I'll go check the inventory. Sure. You settle into your designated chair before you could pretend to look at receipts. Cindy spoke again. But if he does anything suspicious, let me know, okay? You nod slightly. Cindy didn't wait for a verbal response. She just went back to her task. You kept your eyes fixed on the monitor screen for a moment. Out of the corner of your eye, you glanced at the aisles. The guy was still there. Just standing. He was looking at the shelf that held nothing particularly interesting. And then he looked at you. It wasn't a quick or distracted glance. It was direct. Look away or meet his gaze. Ooh, if it was me, I'd look away. Ooh, look away, meet his gaze. I'm gonna look away. We can do this thing, and then we can try and do another path the next time. Look away. That guy was really starting to freak you out. You couldn't face him. It was getting to be too much. You decide to ignore him, turning your attention back to the monitor and to remove the CD from the player. As you put the CD back in its case, you look at your options. Oh, come on. There's so many options. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's so many. So many good ones too. Oh, crap. Let's do horror for his sake, but if it was me, I'd do any of the others. Except maybe not sci-fi, but I kind of do actually like sci-fi music. And I actually do like sci-fi films a time or two. Let's go horror, because he would like that. You enjoy the scares and aroma of that horror movie creates. You were about to pick a movie until the sudden sound of somebody leaning on the counter in front of you distracted you. I knew that would get his attention. Even though I didn't want his attention. Again, the stranger was there, this time in front of you, looking intensely at the CD in your hand. What movie are you going to put on? Excuse me? I want to know what movie you're going to put on. Is that a crime? No, it's not, but... Of course not, but... Come on, I'm undecided. Maybe you can inspire me. I'm really trying to go for a raspy voice, you guys, but I'm not very good. Anyway, I'm doing the best I can. You look at him in silence for a moment, and then sigh with weariness. Black Swan, The Exorcist, Scream, Tremors, Paranormal Activity, Pulse, or The Thing. Ooh, there's a lot of good ones here. I'm going to do Paranormal Activity. Paranormal Activity or Scream. Oh, I really like Scream, though. Oh, I feel like Scream would really get his attitude and everything and all more on the flirty side, but I feel like Paranormal Activity would definitely get him on the interesting side. Ooh, there's so many good. I don't know if if I change which movie I pick changes his reaction. Oh, crap. Oh, dear. I don't know if any of these changes reaction. Crap, there's so many options. Oh, I know what we could do. Save. That's our first save for the time. Okay, let's do something classic. Something really, really classic. Oh, crap. It's between Scream, Tremors, or The Thing. A part of me thinks I should go for The Thing. Ooh, something classic, something classic. Let's go for The Thing. Special effects. Special effects are cool, I guess. Oh, he didn't like that. Well, did that help you decide? The guy crocks his head now. Now you knew for sure that was his way of showing mockery. A little. Thank you. That was my sister coming in to give me a snack. That's really nice of her. She's awesome. She didn't want to interrupt me playing the game, so she's awesome that way too. Love you, Jennifer. You're awesome. That was his way of doing mockery. Though what caught my attention most is what genre you chose. You raised an eyebrow. Oh yeah? And what about it? Horror. Horror. His tone dropped. Interesting choice. It says a lot about a person who prefers it. Like what? That you're looking to feel something real. Or that you want fear to have a face. Something you can understand. Even if it means danger. His words were soft, but prickled your skin like needles under your skin. But they pricked like needles under your skin. Or maybe I have strong emotions without putting myself at risk. I like strong emotions without putting myself at risk like everybody else. But you are not like everybody else. Well, that phrase needs to be removed from the visual. Well, that phrase needs to be removed from the visual novel bingo card. He moved a little closer to the counter. He didn't invade your space, but it was as if he caressed it. You don't seem afraid. You don't seem to be afraid. Should I be? Depends. Depends. Do you prefer to see horror from the outside, or to have it stare back at you? Go with it or ignore him. Oh, crap. This is another hard choice. Go with it or ignore him. Go with it, ignore him. I'm going to ignore him. I'm going to check the system for a moment. If you decide anything, let me know. He didn't move. He leaned his elbow on the counter, watching you. The silence was heavy. He extended his finger and drew circles on the counter surface. He was pretending to think, ignoring you, but aware of your presence. For your mental sanity's sake, you needed to hurry him up. Be subtle, be direct. Oh, if I be direct, he's going to be mad, but if I be subtle, he might not leave. Let's be subtle. For right now. You cleared your throat and your hands clenched fist. Your hand, a clenched fist. Are you going to pick something? You're a bit impatient. Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to. Relax. Relax, I'm playing. You glanced back, searching for Cindy, just to feel some security that you weren't on your own. But, unfortunately, you didn't see her anywhere. Then, without asking, he reached his hand over the counter. I'm Jeff. I'm Jeff. I think it's time we formally introduced ourselves. Don't you, Tazzy? Your gaze dropped to his hand. High-five him? Or take his hand? I kind of want to high-five him, because I think that's really cute, but at the same time, I don't know how he would take that. Oh, God. Take his hand, high-five him. Jeff held your hand gently, as if he waiting to feel his touch seem harmless. As if wanting to make his touch seem harmless. Cute. His fingers didn't squeeze. They didn't pull away immediately either. The coldness of the gesture didn't seem to bother him. On the contrary, it seemed to amuse him. He finally let go of your hand, like someone dropping something they inspected enough. As someone who works in a store, you should convince the customers to buy as much as possible. But something told you Jeff would take a sweet time. See, I knew that was going to happen. You watch him in silence for a few seconds, observing his thoughtful posture. If he was insistent on prolonging the interaction, you were allowed to make him uncomfortable too, right? What's with the banana? What do you do for work? Are you single? Oh my god, I'm not gonna ask if he's single. What do you do for work? What do you do for work? That's about the most... That's about the safest question you could ask. What do you do for work? What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? I'm sorry, it's really difficult to make my voice raspy. It's really difficult. Sorry, guys. Oh, are you a freelancer? What the... No. So you're unemployed? I. Oh, he's mad. Well, technically, yes. Hey, nothing to be ashamed of. Your opportunity will come. I don't want to hear that from you. What's that supposed to mean? You'd figure it out. Sure. Well, did you decide what to get? He refocused his attention on you. Wow, it seems like you really want to get rid of me. Answer nicely, answer sarcastically. Part of me really wants to answer sarcastically. And it's like, no, I'll answer nicely because I know I'm going to get killed if I say otherwise. It's not that. If you need help, I'm here to assist. He tilted his head slightly, but this time not with mockery, but rather boredom. His fingers stopped drumming. Oh, I should have done sarcastically. It would have interested him more. Now still on the counter. His fingers stopped drumming. Now still on the counter. Ah, right. Customer service protocol. The mockery's still there, but his eyes no longer sparkled with the same intensity. For a second, it almost seemed like he was going to say something, but he just let out a discreet sigh. Anyway, I don't think I'll be taking anything. Great. Great. All that for nothing. I wish it had been a pleasure to meet you, Tazzy, but now I'm not so sure. Straightened up from the counter, patting it. Yeah, I agree, Jeff. You didn't hold back and matched his low energy. He waved his hand dismissively and left. Finally. This guy was getting on your nerves with all his questions and comments. Everything seemed like an invitation to a game, but you didn't have to accept it. Your workday was over. All in all, it was quiet. Night had fallen, and there was no reason to worry since you lived a few blocks away. But there was no reason to worry since you lived a few blocks away. Some things were just convenient like that. This week was Cindy's turn to close stores. Since you two almost had the same position, you decided that closing duties would be by taking turns. But you had your things ready to go home. Are you going to be okay? Sure, why wouldn't I be? That guy seems a little bit fixated on you. You scoffed, ironically. Come on me? Yeah, I don't get it either. Okay, ouch. But what if he follows you? That's not going to happen. He left hours ago. There's no way he stayed lurking around here. I don't know. Your danger sensor isn't very accurate, I'd say. Danger is subjective. That's not true. Why do you care so much? I thought you hated me. Cindy was surprised by your words. She averted her gaze, playing with the mop handle she had in her hands, to clean before closing. I don't hate you. I just think being with you is boring. Yeah, well, you're not exactly the life of the party. I don't mean it in a bad way, really. I feel peaceful with you. Aw, that's nice. Oh. You're discreet for everything could be tiresome, but it's also comforting in a weird way. You scratch your head, not knowing how to react to Cindy's words. She never said anything nice to you until now. Cindy cleared her throat. looking away with an embarrassed grimace. What I mean is, I don't want anything bad to happen to you. You took a step towards her and placed your hand on her shoulder, smiling calmly. I'll be fine. Just because something weird happened doesn't mean the universe will decide to turn against me. You share a final farewell gesture before you close the door behind you. The store sign indicated it was closed, and you sigh, feeling the weight of an adult life in a capitalist world lift a little from your shoulder. Feeling the weight of an adult life in a capitalist world lift a little bit off your shoulder. Just a little. It was part of your routine, saying goodbye to Cindy, finally going home. You lived on your own since you started working. You had no extra responsibilities to worry about, which gave you space to focus on your own needs. It wasn't an extraordinary life, but it was functional. You worked during the weekends, earned enough money for rent and bills, and you rested on the weekends. Even though the street was well lit and the aroma remained gloomy as you walked towards your apartment. It had always been like that. Nothing to fear, right? Suddenly, you heard quick footsteps behind you. You turned to react, but arms wrapped around your neck, immobilizing you. You struggled to break free, but then you felt the pressure on your stomach. A cold sensation breached your stomach to the rest of your body. You could swear you felt your gut spilling out. Your body convulsed after being pierced, and that's when the pain hit. It hurt a lot. It was so intense you couldn't feel your limbs. This is how you were going to die? You knew it would happen eventually, but you didn't know how it would hurt. You didn't know that it would hurt so bad. Who could have done this to you? Something so cruel. Did you even deserve it? You weren't a saint, but you didn't consider yourself a bad person. The last thought that crossed your mind was that Cindy would have to cover your shift while they looked for your replacement. He died. Ending 1. You didn't get his attention. Okay, so you didn't get his attention. I disagree. He kind of killed me, so I think I did get his attention the wrong way. Anyway. Let's go back to main menu. Okay. So that's ending 1. I'm definitely going to do ending 2 in the next one and everything else. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you guys can forgive me for all the mistakes and all the not being able to get the voice right and all. I'll try to do better next time and all. And I'll try to focus more on that next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you guys. And I really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe and to like this video if you guys want more. I definitely would like to do more in the next one. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay infectious.